The wine glass exploded against the kitchen tiles, the sharp crash slicing through the heavy silence like breaking glass through bone. I froze, hands still midair, the red wine I'd meant to sip spreading at my feet, dark, pooling, almost like blood. Across the counter, Sarah's laughter stopped dead. Her expression wasn't shock. It was something colder. Guilt, maybe, or fear. "It was just a joke," she said, voice trembling under the weight of the lie. I didn't mean it. But the words hung between us, thick and suffocating, clinging to the warm August air seeping to the window. "I regret our marriage," she had said, and my reply, raw, thoughtless, still echoed in my skull. "Me too." I crouched to gather the shards, unable to meet her eyes. My fingers shook, catching on a jagged edge, slicing open. Blood beaded bright and red, but I barely felt the sting. My thoughts were elsewhere, on her phone buzzing again and again that evening. The way she turned away from me, thumbs flying across the screen, secretive. Her laughter lately different, sharper, belonging to someone else. "You're bleeding," she whispered, her tone suddenly soft, almost tender. But I didn't believe it. I didn't believe anything anymore. The kitchen reeked of garlic and something worse, regret. The dinner sat untouched, candles still flickering on the table, their warm light mocking what intimacy used to feel like. I dropped the shards into the sink and finally looked at her. Her hazel eyes, once the place I'd always gone to find home, darted away, landing anywhere but me. "It was just a stupid thing to say, Tom," she murmured. "You know I love you." But the words were empty, memorized lines from a play we'd already ended. I wanted to believe her. God, I did. But the air between us buzzed with unspoken truths, and I couldn't shake the memory of that name glowing on her phone. Evan. It had started weeks ago, hadn't it? Little things. Late nights at the office. A new perfume. Musky, sharp, nothing like the soft floral she'd worn for years. The long minutes in the locked bathroom. Her voice hushed through the door. I told myself it was work. Her promotion to partner, keeping her too busy for us. I excused it all. The distance. The way her touch had become mechanical, like something to be checked off a list. But tonight, her joke had cut too deep. I wrapped my hand in a dish towel, watching the red stain bloom. "Who's Evan?" I asked, voice low, calm, though my pulse thundered. She froze. For a moment, I thought she'd deny it. Then her shoulders fell. She leaned back against the counter, gripping its edge like it might keep her from collapsing. "He's just a colleague," she said too fast. "We're on the same case. You know how intense it gets." Her eyes flicked up to mine, pleading, but her voice cracked, the truth bleeding through. I wanted to shout, to demand answers, to break something else. Instead, I only nodded, jaw tight. I didn't trust my voice. The rest of the night passed in quiet pretending. We cleaned up in silence, the clink of dishes and hum of the dishwasher filling the emptiness. Later, she slipped into bed, back turned. The space between us might as well have been an ocean. I stared at the ceiling, shadows twisting like my thoughts. Her phone glowed faintly on the nightstand, dark but alive. I imagined grabbing it, scrolling through her messages. But the thought made me sick, not with anger but fear. Fear that I was right. Fear that I wasn't. The next morning, she left early. "Breakfast meeting," she said. I didn't ask. Instead, I poured myself coffee and sat in the silence. My gaze landed on her open laptop. She'd been careless, or maybe confident I wouldn't look. My hand shook as I moved the mouse. The screen lit up, her email already open. And there it was, hidden inside a thread labeled case notes. "Meet me at the usual spot. 7 p.m. Can't stop thinking about you. E." My stomach turned to stone. I clicked deeper. Message after message, each one another wound. "You make me feel alive again. This is dangerous. But I don't care. Delete this after you read it." The words blurred. Not from tears. Those wouldn't come. But from fury and something smaller, sadder, grief. I wanted to confront her, to make her feel what I did. But some part of me still clung to doubt. Maybe there was another explanation. Maybe not. I didn't need to check her phone. The truth was right there. The rest of the day slipped by in a fog. My mind replayed our 7 years, our wedding laughter, her trembling hand at her father's funeral, the quiet mornings when we used to talk about the future. Had it all been fake? Or had I simply failed to see her slipping away? When she came home that evening, her smile was too bright, her voice too light. "Good day?" she asked, tossing her keys onto the counter. I didn't answer, just stared, my heart clenched hard in my chest. "Tom," she said, smile faltering. "What's wrong?" I could have lied, pretended, let suspicion rot us from the inside. But the truth came out raw, sharp. "I saw the emails, Sarah. You and Evan." Her face drained, her lips parted, closed again. "It's not what you think." "Don't." I cut in. "Don't lie. Not now." The air thickened with her perfume. His perfume. I realized. She sank into a chair, hands covering her face. For the first time, she looked like a stranger, her edges blurred by secrets. "It was a mistake," she whispered through tears. "I didn't mean for it to happen. I was lonely, Tom. You were always working, always distant. I needed someone." Her words hit like blows. Lonely. Hadn't I been lonely too? Giving everything to this life, while she was already halfway gone? I wanted to hate her, to scream, to walk out. Instead, I asked quietly, "Do you love him?" The silence that followed was worse than any confession. I nodded, throat tight, and turned away. I couldn't look at her. That night, I slept on the couch. I thought about her words, about mine. "I regret our marriage." Me too. But the real twist came the next morning. Her phone sat on the coffee table, screen glowing with a new message. I told him it's over. "I choose you, Sarah." My chest tightened. She'd ended it. For me. But was that enough? Could I forgive her? Could I forgive myself for missing the signs, for letting her drift so far? The house was still. I heard her soft steps on the stairs. When our eyes met, they were raw and uncertain. Broken but searching, still searching for something that might be worth saving.